Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today in today's video we do have a very important topic to talk about, and we are going to talk about Arthur Melo. And so before I do get into this video, I'm going to explain you guys how I'm going to format everything. So I'm basically going to give you guys a timeline on what's been going on in this meeting, in this fiasco, in this situation of Arthur Melo, so you guys can have a deeper understanding on what's been going on with this whole situation. And so we are first going to start with Fernando Polo, and he stated this: Arthur no longer rules out going out. Yesterday he said no to a powerful offer from Juventus, but believes that the Italian club will move again by raising its bet, among other things because the operation is of great interest to both clubs. And look, I cannot believe that we are this close to letting go of Arthur Melo, because I really did believe, and I know that many other people thought, that this player was going to be an untouchable at FC Barcelona. And I get that sometimes many fans and people of FC Barcelona tend to overrate this player, but it's not about what Arthur Melo is currently. It's more about what Arthur Melo could become in the future for this club and how long he can play for this club, because he is very young. And what gets very confusing is that Bartomeu has expressed the idea of having this team ready for life without Messi, meaning when Messi retires, this club needs to be ready and have great players and leading this team to success. But apparently this is not what it's looking like currently, because if Bartomeu and the people of this board are trying to let go of Arthur Melo, is very contradicting. And so the words of what Bartomeu expressed on having this club ready after Messi's retirement is not matching the actions that we are currently seeing. And we do have a report coming from Fabrizio Romano stating that no deal has been agreed yet, but he is in talks with Juventus about his contract. Then he will decide. But Barcelona and Juventus are ready. And the big question is, why is this deal trying to be completed so quickly? And so it has been stated that it does benefit both FC Barcelona and Juventus. And as for FC Barcelona, it is because by June 30th it will be considered as the end of a financial year. And they have also stated that as they seek to raise the necessary funds to avoid ending the period with a loss. So that is why we do see multiple reports stating that Barcelona is looking to balance their books before June 30th, because apparently on that date that will be the end of the financial year. And as for Juventus, they have stated that if the club fails to reach a final agreement by July 1st, Setien's side will expect Pjanić value to depreciate by 10 million euros, which basically means that Juventus will need to increase their package in order to bring in Arthur Melo. So for example, if Pjanić deal and his transfer value does decrease by 10 million, Juventus will need to offer Pjanić plus around 20 to 25 million in order to bring Arthur Melo in, because currently what Juventus does want to give to FC Barcelona for Arthur Melo is Pjanić plus 10 to 15 million euros. That will be the deal that Barcelona will be getting if they do complete this deal before June 30th. And so that is why we are seeing very fast negotiations and fast moves from both of these clubs. But as of now, we do have Arthur Melo, who has the doors open and he is listening to offers. And right now, as we speak, there is no agreement. Arthur Melo is simply just listening to what Juventus have to offer. And right now, the only offer that we have heard so far is that Juventus did propose a 5 million a year deal plus bonuses for Arthur Melo. And right now we are in a moment where everything is paused, and it's simply because, according to Gio Como from Tutto Mercato, he stated that Arthur Melo demanded 7.8 million euros every season plus bonuses. And so I believe that that is why the negotiations have stopped for a moment, because Arthur Melo is asking for this while Juventus can only offer that. But the one thing to keep in mind is this, is that Arthur Melo has changed his attitude when it comes to negotiating with Juventus, because 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Arthur Melo did not want to hear it. He did not want to hear about any offers that Juventus did have to offer. But now Arthur Melo is slightly opening the door even more and listening to these offers. But remember, right now there is no agreement, and Arthur Melo does want to stay at FC Barcelona because he believes that staying at FC Barcelona suits him best for now. But the negotiations between Barcelona and Juventus, those negotiations are done. So right now, all the focus is going to be on Juventus. Like, what are they going to do next? Are they going to respond? Are they going to let go of Arthur Melo because they believe that 7 to 8 million euros is too much for this player? Or are they going to come back and say, we will give you 7 to 8 million euros? So they are repackaging a deal, and the next big announcement that we are probably going to see will be a wage proposal towards Arthur Melo. And if that that deal does end up being good enough, Arthur Melo will leave the club. And today is June 24th, which means that there is only 6 days left before we hit that June 30th mark. And so this is going to be a very definitive week for Arthur Melo. This week will decide what Arthur Melo's future will look like. And so all eyes will be on Juventus' next move. And I can't believe that we are in this moment knowing that Barcelona do want to sell a young player like Arthur Melo, who is only 23 years old, and they do want to bring in another 30-year-old midfielder named Pjanić, who is also a player that is entering his last few years to play top European football. And again, these actions do not match the words on what Bartomeu said when he said that he wants to prepare this club after Lionel Messi does retire. I have no idea what's going through their heads, but this is what they want to do. And I get that their intentions is to bring cash as soon as possible towards this club, but there is many other ways to do that. There's multiple other players that Barcelona do have in their disposal in order to accumulate that amount of cash. Like if it's 10 to 15 million euros that they need, they can easily get that with the sale of Todibo, Rafinha, and many other players. Arthur Melo does not have to be that player to be sold this summer. And so I'm going to be very optimistic here and expect Arthur Melo to say no to this deal no matter what happens. I do expect Arthur Melo to continue with FC Barcelona, but if this deal does go through, we will be analyzing on what Pjanić can bring towards this club and how he can benefit FC Barcelona and where he can be placed in that midfield. And just a side note, if this deal does go through, Grêmio will receive a 3.5% of that transfer fee, which means that they're going to receive around 2.8 million euros for this sale to Juventus, assuming that this deal does go through with a $80 million transfer fee. But that is where we're at the moment. We could hear something tomorrow about Juventus proposing this and Arthur Melo does say yes, and so we don't know where this is going to go. But like I said before, all the attention has to go towards Juventus now. Now going on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Ndombele, and we're going to talk about this report very quickly. And so according to El Equipe, they have stated that Barcelona have begun talks with Tottenham for Ndombele, and they are planning on bringing this player in on a 2-year loan with obligation to buy. And so this relationship between Ndombele and FC Barcelona, this is nothing new. These negotiations have been going on over the past 10 months, and Ndombele and FC Barcelona have been linked to come together over the past 10 months. And I think that with the exit of Arthur Melo, that's going to give Barcelona the permission to go for Ndombele. So we can already see here that Barcelona are preparing for the exit of Arthur Melo. They do want to bring another midfielder in, and that's going to be Ndombele and Pjanić. And this deal is very reasonable because they will be gaining 10 to 15 million euros off of that Arthur Melo Pjanić swap. And with this transfer with Ndombele, they are not looking to spend a single dime, which is why we are seeing that Barcelona do want to bring in this player for a 2-year loan. And I'm assuming that these actions are being taken only because they do want to save every dollar they can to bring in Lautaro Martinez. But then again, that's my speculation. That's what I believe is going on. Everything is mapping towards trying to bring Lautaro Martinez. And besides that, right, with this 23-year-old midfielder named Ndombele and with the arrival of Pjanić, could this greatly affect the future of Riqui Puig? Because just when Riqui Puig is finally showing progress on the field, Barcelona do want to bring in 2 other midfielders and potentially might hinder his progress. And so as you can see that the Arthur Melo Pjanić swap deal is really going to have a big ripple effect on other players. And so who knows how all of this is going to turn out, but this is where we stand today with Ndombele, Pjanić, Arthur Melo, and potentially Riqui Puig. And so now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Lautaro Martinez. So Marota did speak about Lautaro Martinez again in an interview, and this is what he had to say. Lautaro Martinez has not asked to leave Inter, and if he does not, there's no possibility that he will go to another club. And this is simply just another negotiation tactic. I believe that everyone is well aware enough that the whole Barcelona and Lautaro Martinez relationship is very strong, and for him to say that Lautaro Martinez could go to another club, it's all full of lies. He does want to bring Barcelona into bait, and that's just simply how negotiations work in Europe and more specifically in Italy. And Lautaro Martinez has clearly stated that he will only leave Inter Milan if he were to go to FC Barcelona, which makes this statement from Marotta very flawed from top to bottom. And I get it, Marotta's intentions is for Barcelona to submit the 111 million euros as soon as possible, and I believe that that is where it's going to go. Barcelona is going to submit the 111 million because the transfer value of Lautaro Martinez could potentially rise after the July 7th or 15th date. So that is it for today's Barcelona daily news. Again, whatever happens with Arthur Melo and FC Barcelona, we will be covering all of that here in this YouTube channel, and hopefully Arthur Melo does make the right decision. And so, like I said before, all of the attention, all eyes will be on Juventus if they do want to bring in a better deal for Arthur Melo. And if that does happen, if they do bring in a better package for Arthur Melo will leave FC Barcelona. And so, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment. I hope you guys do like today's video, and I will see you guys in the next video.